1039.
Morning sun lights the day, Pat and Brian on the way. Stories of a small town life. Sports and joy cut like a knife. Hot stove league and full chat. High school dreams and college stats. Wednesday morning, tales unfold. Memories and news retold. Tune in, B1039. Curry's voice and life's sweet line. Sheriff Miller by his side. Lively bluegrass, hearts fly.
All right, they're all filing in now.
Oh, wow. We on?
Yeah, you
We're
want to be on the
live.
second you walk in
Live
the door. So.
1039.
In
Hey, I
fact, we
forgot
want you
get
to
my
put a
hat off.
microphone going into the
We got a
bathroom.
great group of people here today, and nothing like Bob pushing the issue here.
Yeah.
But, Bob, to start the show, I just want to talk about a little bit. This morning, we were in the gas station there, as we are every morning, and, just go ahead and do that, Jason, whatever. And I was telling Bill Shively and whoever else wanted to listen, I guess Don Helder and Bayshaw and Pete Kent, God bless him, he's got a broken arm, but he's doing a lot better. He'll be back on a couple more Tuesdays. Next week, I think he has to go down and get the cast off or pen taken out, whatever. But anyway, I was telling the importance of our daily lives. And there's a lot of things going on right now. Here in another couple of weeks, we're going to be voting for a new president and senators and representatives and all that. And that's pretty crucial in our daily lives, more so now than it ever has been. But I said, we talk about children, and everybody knows I love children. And I look at my grandchildren, and I'm so thankful, again, for my daughter-in-laws, Amanda and Mackenzie, because they've gotten my grandchildren involved in sports. Now, you all know how I feel about contact sports like football. I don't know if I like that so much, these kids hitting each other and the little concussions, but they can get that riding a bike too, I know that. So I won't jump on that. But I just was telling Billy, if you look at your two grandsons, Melissa Shively's the mother, of course, and Nick, the dad, they keep those kids very much involved in sports, and I know academically wise that Melissa makes sure they're doing their homework. But these kids need something, I think, and I think any sport is great. I don't care if it's tennis or if it's golf or whatever, but just keeping these kids active in that era of their life. Now you take the kids away from sports, and now I think we have a problem. So I said, if you look at back when I was a kid, we didn't have as many sports. We didn't have hockey. We didn't have soccer. We had baseball, football, and basketball. So that was a limited resource for parents to get their kids involved in sports. And a lot of us didn't play high school sports because some of us had to work or whatever. But we made it through, and I think one of the reasons we made it through was because there was no bullying, and if there was, you got in a fight, you got your whooped, or you whooped that kid's ass. Excuse me. But I guess we didn't have the upsetting of what we have now, because these kids today have the phones. And these phones are ruining a lot of our kids. But being sports-minded parents, these kids don't have that opportunity to get in trouble as much. So
Yep.
that's why we have a sports show.
Yeah, somebody's squealing there.
Do you know
so
where I
that's
was
why
going
we're
with this,
bringing it up.
Bob?
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Yeah.
I put a period at the end of that
Yeah,
paragraph.
before you do that, before we continue now, we got to give thanks to our sponsors.
Yes, we
which
do.
include Roxanne and Doug and everybody at Zot Spa and Grill right here in Big Rapids, who have the signature player of the week, and also to Big Rapids Tire. Want to thank them for being our sponsors this morning.
Yeah, I'll tell you about Big Raps Tire real quick. Andrew down there, I went in there with my tractor the other day. I had a couple low tires. He's got probably the best man, that Nick. I think he's from Everett. Mm-hmm. He specializes in heavy equipment, tires, and this and that. And he was very helpful, very knowledgeable. Taught me some things that I didn't know, and I've been in the tire business my whole life. But so you're never too old to learn. Thanks a lot, Nick. I appreciate it. Shout out to Big Raps Tire. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Well, we're lucky enough. I cleaned the garage out the other day. I was just telling prior to the show here that I found this plaque, and I used to have it hanging up in the gas station back in the Jeff Pierce days, football days. And one of the names that won the award every year, Jeff and my dad or whoever, I think probably Jeff did, picked a player, every player, every
player, every play.
Yeah, and this guy, Jason Lozinski, is with us this morning, folks, from the Sheriff's Department, sitting in for Brian, eh?
Yep, he had to do some CPR, continuous training, maybe some PPCT stuff.
Well, anyway, of all the names, I'm reading all the names. 1999, Jason Lozinski played football at Ferris because I got it right on that plaque. He won that award. And Jason, that there's a lot of guys that are fighting for that one, and that was put you right at the top every play. How do you figure you got that? I mean, you just tough old bird, huh?
Well, the award in itself was probably the award that you'd want to get. It's like the hustle award or the tough guy or the guy that never, plays his hardest every play. So, I mean, that would be an award that I'd want. I didn't necessarily need the MVP, right? But they must have ran out of people. And
no, we know better than that.
And I got the award. So, but it was a great honor. It was the award you wanted, right? They gave one every week. Then they gave it at the end of the year. But every player, every play means you didn't take a play off. You didn't quit. Even when you were down, you played, right?
Yeah. Well, we got a couple good guests here. A pretty one and a big one. Ben Wright, golf coach over at Chippewa Hills, and you brought one of your players.
Yeah, I brought Madison Allen. She's a senior, tremendous career, tremendous accomplishments. You're sitting next to the highest finishing Chippewa Hills girls golfer in school history. She finished 9th last weekend at the state finals, and she's a tremendous talent. But she's a better young lady, and she's got a bright future in whatever she chooses to do. She's here, and it's all about her today.
Well, good. All right, Madison. So what was the last name again? Aylin. What's your folks do then? What folks, mom and dad?
My mom doesn't work, and
That's good.
my dad is a chiller mechanic.
A mechanic? Mm-hmm. Okay, where at?
Kind of all over.
Okay, good. Yeah. So what got you into golfing?
My dad did when I was really little.
Okay, where was the first course you ever golfed?
Probably the Pines at Canadian Lakes.
Okay, so is that where you learned how to golf, the Pines?
Yep.
Okay, so you guys went there a lot, eh?
Yeah.
How old were you when you started?
Probably around like 5.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
And so you stuck right with it all these years, because a lot of kids do play a little golf when they're little and they get away from going to a different sport. How did you play? Do you play any other sports?
No, just golf.
Wow, so you just put all your time into golf and you got really good. What was the best score this year?
75.
9?
18.
18, 75 and 18? Oh, my Lord. Oh, well, that is definitely a record for this area, isn't it?
Well, I don't know about this area, but it's a heck of a score for her. For us, is at Catkey here in Big Rapids. But the more impressive part at state finals first day, she only shot 76.
Wow.
And, in the biggest tournament of the year on her first day, and she had a lot of fun. She's got it in her to do it. She's very talented.
Well, you can have all the talent, but you must just very confident. You don't get shook up, eh? Did you ever get nervous? I mean, like you're going for a record like that, 75 or 76. Do you ever say, "Wow, I can't screw this up. I gotta stay focused"?
Sometimes, but usually I try not to think about that.
There you go. Yeah. So you're out there, like Coach said, you're having fun. So how did you place in the States then?
I finished 9th place.
Okay, out of how many?
116 golfers were there.
Wow, at Catkey.
Nope, this was at Bedford Valley in Battle Creek.
Tough course.
Yeah, it's a tough course.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good tournaments are played there. It fits Madison's game really well, and she played really well.
Yeah, really. I bet. So, like at Catkey, what was the best you ever shot there?
75.
No, I have a good friend of mine, Tim Burns, and he plays that course every day. And I haven't played it in years. And I'm not a big golfer. I just golf once a week to have a whiskey. But he told me that is a really tough course.
Yeah.
So that's quite an accomplishment to hit that, eh, Ben? What was the next closest one to her?
Oh, on that day, I don't think there was anybody close to her. I mean, there's a lot of good golfers we see all year long. But Madison was in the top 10 in all 13 tournaments that we played in. She was the medalist for 1 or 2 tournaments. I don't remember the final number right offhand. So she was always up there. And when we got to the course and people saw that she was there, they knew that they were going to play really good to beat her, which was cool.
Yeah, how your teammates? You have a lot of support there, eh? Mm-hmm. How many is on the team?
4 others.
You play 5 girls.
Yep. You can play 6 most of the year, but we had 5 on our roster this year.
But how many girls in the program then?
5.
That's it?
Yep.
Oh, that's it. Because a lot of schools have more than that, right?
For sure. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So, do you have anybody filling her shoes next year, Ben, or are you going to be losing?
Oh
your
yeah,
job?
we've got 4 good returners coming in. I don't know
Wow,
about filling
really?
shoes, but we have some good golfers that are coming up that are going to do just fine. It's hard to replace really, really solid players. She's been on varsity for 4 years, but hopefully somebody's up there shooting 75, 76 at the state meet, and that'd be tremendous. I think that would come down to coaching at that point and get that done. But so we're in trouble because it's not.
You're a pretty good golfer, eh, Ben?
I'm an above average golfer.
Yeah. Where do you golf at then?
Wherever I can get on the course.
Where do you live?
I live in Lake Isabella.
Oh, okay. So that's the Pines over there.
Yeah, there's 2 sets of pines. Yeah.
My brother-in-law, my wife, and her twin there, Pam, we went out to eat a couple Saturday nights ago. We went to the Pines. Is that what the restaurant's called?
Tallies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent food.
Yeah, it's a good spot.
I haven't been there, I bet, in 30, 40 years. And I'll be back. Yeah, it's very good.
That's
Very good service. Crown over there is as good as any place, so you can't really screw that
There you
up.
go.
But I had the walleye, blackened walleye. It was very good. So if you like walleye, folks, try it. What's the name of that?
Tallies.
Tallies, yeah. Right there in Lake Isabella. That's a beautiful course, too, eh?
It is, yeah. I played that. My wife and I are members out there, so we played that quite a bit this summer. And yeah, it's fun. You can get out and back and close to home. And, So yeah.
Now, you're a teacher, Ben, over
I am. Yep, I've been a secondary special ed teacher for 22 years.
Good for you. I'm sensitive to that program. So, where did you grow up at then?
I grew up in Mount Pleasant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you were raised a rich kid.
I don't think I'm a rich kid at all. I think we had that
but-
conversation yesterday. Danny. I would love to have this conversation off the air. I'm the
I love
opposite of
it.
a rich kid. So.
Yeah, really. Well, that's who you are, though.
What's that?
That makes good people that came up from the
Yeah,
ranks.
my family were farmers.
Yeah.
I lived in Vestaburg.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not really a Mount Pleasant rich kid at all.
No, I know. I was just kidding you. And
What high
Mount
school did we
Pleasant's
go to,
good
Ben? Just to...
Oh, we went to some small school in Mount Pleasant Sacred Heart.
people. Oh, you did?
Yep.
I knew I liked you. I'm Catholic, too.
There you go. There you go.
It's what makes us just a step below everybody else. But anyway, you know the McDonald's then?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don and I are good friends. And
Okay.
Jim Theron and all those boys over there. That's
Oh, yeah.
pretty important of Mount Pleasant area, isn't it? And you play basketball, football there?
I played baseball, basketball, and football at Sacred Heart. Yeah.
They did pretty good then when you played?
We were really good in baseball at that time.
Yeah. You guys did have some good baseball
Yeah.
players over there.
Yeah. Scotty Pratt was in the high school there. He's a
Oh,
Big
yeah.
Rapids guy now. And yeah, we had a lot of really good players.
Yeah. So do you coach anything else besides golf?
Yeah, I've been the varsity baseball coach at Chip Hills for 18 years probably now.
Oh,
Long
that's what
time.
I've heard your name. I knew when I met you. I have never met you, but
Yeah.
I knew your name from something. You guys normally have pretty good baseball.
We've
team
had
over
quite a
there.
bit of success since I've been there. I've been pretty fortunate to have good athletes, and good athletes always make great coaches, so
Mm-hmm.
that's helped out quite a bit.
It's a lot of fun. But I know you'll look back at your life someday and say, "I'm glad I took the route I did. The road I took was fabulous, a lot of fun." I look back at my life, and I've had a good ride too. But there's some things I probably would have changed. But one thing that I always tell people: spend time with your kids as much as you can. Make a difference in a kid's life, and I know you've done that. You're continually doing that. But getting back to Madison here, how many siblings do you have, Madison?
I have one sister.
Does she golf?
Yes, she does.
And how old is she?
She's a year older than I am.
Oh, so she's done.
She graduated last year. Yep.
And did she have accomplishments? Not that she was good too,
yeah,
eh?
she had a lot of accomplishments.
Really?
But
Wow.
the one
that's-
thing she didn't have, which you got, was a medal at the state finals meet. So,
Yes.
so Madison may have gotten just a step ahead. But Riley's pretty darn good. I'm not going to take any away
And
from her.
now is she at college anywhere?
Yes. Yeah, she goes to Ferris.
Oh, she playing on the golf team then?
She does PTM.
Okay. Yeah. So, what is your aspirations now? What are you going to do after high school?
I'm not really sure yet. I got a lot of options that we're just trying to figure out right now. So
But are you going to stick with golf, you think, or maybe walk away and just play it for recreation?
I'm hoping so, but still not too sure yet.
Yeah.
Are there offers out there? Do we have some offers there?
There's definitely some people that are looking into Madison, want her to come play, but she's got to make sure it's the right fit, feel, and what she wants to study. And so she's going to have a busy time here in the next month or 2 or 3 trying to figure those things out, and they'll make the right decision.
Yeah. For sure. And I just want to. We're talking about experiences earlier.
Yeah, I want you to talk.
And life experiences. And growing up, I was a terrible high school student, right? Sports were the only thing that kind of reeled me in. And without Ferris and Ferris football, getting away from all my bad habits of Warren, I think is important, right? So if there's an opportunity out there for you, I think you should take that, right? Like you shot a 76 in the biggest stage. Like, I think you should run with that if you get that opportunity.
Yeah.
We've had that discussion a lot, and she's going to do its best, and I like to see him go on and play. I have somebody to root for then.
Right. What was your average overall then? I mean, do you do that? Well,
it really just depends because there's a lot of different courses and yardages and things of that nature. I would say that she probably averaged +7 for most tournaments, for 18 holes.
Yeah.
Some were higher, some were lower, but I would say she broke 80 quite a bit. And,
wow.
Yeah.
Because the average girl could be anywhere from 85 to 98, eh?
Sure. Yeah, that's still pretty good golf, 98. I mean, tell you what.
Yeah.
There's some good golfers out there.
Yeah. Jason, maybe you can help her out a little bit because you played high school football and you were outstanding there, and then you came to Ferris. The step up, competition's better.
Oh, way better. Yep.
Faster pace, eh? Raise that up. Can't, Bobby, put that up. Jason's a big man.
Yeah, all right. I got it now. Yes, just every step you ever take, right? Whether it's from 9th grade to JV to high school to college, was all big steps. Now, the biggest step, of course, was high school to college because your speed, you shrunk it down so much more. It was the first time in my life. I remember the first practice I'm playing linebacker, although I'm an offensive lineman, and the fullback came through and hit me and kind of did the head shake, and it had never really been hit like that. So I thought it was kind of a fluke. I shook it off, lined up again, and the guy came through again, and whoa, wait a minute. Like, welcome to college football.
Yeah, that's I was wondering what it was like.
Yes.
All of a sudden, boom. Yeah. But you went ahead and did real well in your 4 years. Did you help kids as you got into your twilight years at Ferris? Do you tell that to kids when they come in, like saying, hey, this is a different game here,
Yeah, so every year you'd start off, I think it was about 50 freshmen they would bring in. And before that 2 weeks camp was done, you would lose 20. And by the end of that first year, you lose another 10 usually. And a lot of that was just from that first initial shock of what happened to me. You got hit in the face. You realize that you're not the best or you're not as good as you thought you were. And some kids struggle with that. And it's easier to pack up the bags than say, I'm going to put a little more work into it. The second piece was some of them, it's being away from home. But the other piece is you look at a depth chart, right? My first depth chart, I was a right tackle. I never played right tackle my whole life or never played in college, but they had me at right tackle, and I was the 9th guy, right?
Wow, really?
And so a lot of people could look at that and say, there's no way I'm ever going to play, right?
Yeah.
I'm 9th on the depth chart. The next year I started.
Yeah, see, and the reason I bring that subject up, Madison, is because that could happen to you. So never get, down like going, whoa, I'm not good enough playing college here, but all of a sudden, man, that one day it triggers you and you're up there like Jason did, So yeah, never get discouraged. But being that said, are you going to go to Ferris, you think, or you're not really sure if you're even going to go, eh?
Not sure.
Do you work anywhere part-time?
Yeah, I work at Tullymore.
Okay, so you do like that. You're going to stay working there in some form or another. Tullymore's a beautiful course, huh?
Yes, it is.
What's the best you ever done out there?
Probably like an 86, I think.
See, when I golf there, I'll be honest with you, when you get to be an adult, a golfer like myself, you learn how to cheat. Like when somebody calls
Call
you
you
out
Pat
on it.
Mulligan? Is that the...
Well, you just you hit the ball maybe 7 times, but you really had a 5 because it's a tough course.
Usually just count the ones you hit good.
Huh?
Just the ones you hit good, you usually count when you get
Right.
to the ball, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I hit
The
swung,
others are practice.
yeah, I swung 7, but 3 of them I was really happy with. So we'll count those 3.
I like that. That game of golf is unlike any other golf or any other sport because you can go depending who you're playing. Now on Wednesday night league, we'll go up there and these 2 guys that we played against, they both very good golfers, but they both hit in the woods the first shot, and then they grabbed another ball without saying anything and went up and hit it again. And I said, golf etiquette, I'm not into it. Like you guys know what's going on here. Oh, the first hole you get, if you throw double
2 off
on
the
or
box,
something,
yeah.
you go again. And my partner and I, Dan Hicks, looked at it and said,
It's an unwritten rule,
okay,
Jason.
then.
That's an unwritten rule.
We liked it. So when we got in trouble, we said, we're just going to take one more try here at this, Yeah, we owe you one. But it's so important. What is it, Ben, that like in golf, is it because everybody's so competitive and it's their sport? I mean, why is it so important to make sure you get a 39, not a 40, even if you have to forget that one that you should have counted?
Well, I think it's an ego thing. It's a lot better to say you shot 39 than 40. It's just like a height thing. I might be 5'11", but I'm going to tell you I'm 6 foot.
Right.
It just makes you feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
I don't know about the cheating part. I don't think I've ever cheated in golf.
Oh, I know you did not.
But,
I'm talking about us old guys.
Yeah, no, I think it's great.
legit
If
for us.
you can still shoot 39, that's tremendous. You can go in the
Yeah.
clubhouse and brag to your buddies and be like, I shot 39. And
Well, it is. It's a wonderful sport because, at my age, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Golf's probably the only sport any of us can play. And it's funny, heck, you come off the course and first thing your buddy or whoever else was playing that night, they'll say, what'd you shoot? I said, you really care? Well, really, it's not that they care. They just want to make sure that you're not taking over second place in the roster.
in the league, they get the sleeve of balls at the end of the year. Or
And I
something.
always BS them. I said, gosh, I couldn't believe I shot a 38. You cheated. Yeah, so? Didn't you? Well, maybe it's 48. I don't know. Who's counting? But anyway, it's a fun game, isn't it, Madison? Huh?
Yes, it is.
What have you learned life-wise from golf?
A lot of integrity, being honest.
We just talked.
Yeah. You kind of just made us look silly right there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, no, it's true. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. What else?
Kindness, relationship skills. You got to spend the next 5 hours with the person that you just meet, so you really got to be nice and just,
Are most of them pretty good to you?
yes.
Yeah, so you're doing something you love, and the people that are doing it, they love it too, and they're all in it to win, of course, but more importantly, making relationships.
Yes.
I tell you what, if you've never been out to a high school girls golf match, you need to go out there. There is some tremendous athletes out there that just, everybody thinks just golf. They think it's an adult sport, but there's some really, really good golfers in this area. And it's really cool to watch them play because they'll surprise you. I mean, it's a lot of fun.
Well, again, do you know Tim Burns?
Nope.
Tim Burns, he's 80. He's going to be 81, I think, next round. But he's a good friend of mine. He's a real good golfer. He wasn't too far from going pro, actually. Him and Jerry Nielsen, that whole group, that age, they were real good golfers from Carson City. But anyway, Bob, do you want to take a break real quick?
Take a quick break, 1 minute. Be back with more Curry's Hot Stove League on B1039.
Hey, this is Andrew from Big Rapids Tire. Putting off winter, good idea for some, but in reality, pretty much impossible. And if you wait too long to get snow tires, you'll be saying,
Should have done it sooner. Dang it.
or something slightly more harsh. Last thing you want is to be slipping and sliding, or even worse, delayed, because you can't get out of your driveway. Get fresh new snow tires from Big Rapids Tire. There's no better feeling than to confidently take on the roads in the rough weather with good solid snow tires on your car. Confidence and peace of mind. Priceless. Big Rapids Tire. There for you, whatever the weather. Fast and friendly service on Northland Drive, just north of Big Rapids. Call 796-4839. That's 796-4839. Big Rapids Tire.
Come say cheers at Zot's Bar and Grill in Big Rapids. Great food, great prices, and great people, where everybody knows your name. Zott's, people's choice for best soup. You don't want to miss their award-winning burgers and chili as well. Originally opened in 1933 and serving it up ever since. Seasonal beers on tap. Located at 732 North State Street in Big Rapids. Roxanne and Doug at Zott's Bar and Grill are proud sponsors of the Signature Player of the Week for the Curries Hot Stove League every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. All right, we're back.
Back with Ben and Madison from Chippewa Hills. Madison's a phenomenal golfer. I just can't believe it. The best you had 75, right?
Yes.
Wow, that's phenomenal. I never had a 75. I don't know if I ever made 18 holes. But anyway, 9 holes, I've done that. But anyway, getting back to, so you've had a wonderful experience. But one thing we have to agree on, I know you will, is blanket was over, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Just like you went in the 9th grade, Ben picked you up as a golfer, knew you were going to golf. Obviously, you've been golfing since you were 5 years old. Did you, they don't have a league in middle school or anything like that, any course like that. So who was the best golfer on your team when you came in as a freshman that you looked up to and said, I want to be like that?
My sister.
I love it. I was hoping you'd say that. You know, and that's what life's all about, is family. And it sounds like you have a great family, and they encourage you in your endeavors there. And yeah, it's cool. Well, so that being said, you don't play softball.
Nope.
Did you ever think about it? Because if you're a good golfer, you probably could swing the bat pretty good too, eh?
No, I've not thought about playing softball.
And she's left-handed, so in softball she do that slap hitting stuff and get up the line a little bit. That'd be a good feat. But
You're that much closer to first, right?
yeah, that's right. I was never that close, but yeah.
Well, going back to Tim, he was telling me that same thing. He goes out and watches these girls, and he goes, Pat, I'm telling you, you ought to come out and watch them. He goes, it's exciting. These girls are good golfers.
Yeah.
So about a couple Saturdays ago, I was out to the high school. The kids are playing football out there. And there was a lot of people on the course standing in between the, what do you call them? Not bowling alley lanes, but
Fairways?
fairways. Thank you. You can tell I'm a real golfer.
You're good. No.
Yeah, I'm real
You never
good.
been there before? You've been to fairway before? Is that what it is?
But there was a lot of people. I said, Tim, good God, I wouldn't be standing there. You'd be getting hit. He goes, Pat, they're good golfers.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, we were out there at that tournament. That was a 2-day, the Big Rapids Invite 2-day. And there's some really good teams. But, they're pretty solid. You don't hear about them spraying the ball around. I mean, you do get hit once in a while, I think. But
Oh, you were playing that day then?
the team was. I wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, the team
You are
was.
right. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But you were there coaching.
Yep.
Yeah. So how position-wise, I don't know, what does a coach do as a golf coach?
The number one thing a coach needs to do is not screw up his team. That's the number one thing, and put them in positions to have confidence and be successful. And it's a very mental sport. And when you got 5 or 6 girls in the course at the same time, they all could be having a bad hole at the same time. So there's a lot of just management of emotions and management of how they're thinking. And, you know, I usually don't get to watch them play every hole. But this weekend with Maddie, I got to walk with her and kind of, I don't know, maybe caddy for her, kind of, but is what you would kind of call it. And that was a lot of fun because I got to, you know, be with her and her mindsets, and we talked shots and different things. And she told me I was wrong quite a bit, and she was right, you know,
Really?
which was good. I didn't screw up too bad. But that was a really cool thing, just to have the mental side of why are you going to do this shot, or what are you thinking? How are we going to set the next one up? So that was a lot of fun. That's a lot of what it is, because the athletes are the one that have to go out there and hit the ball and score for you. And my job is to not screw them up.
Well, you're wearing 2 hats.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, you can't throw your hat down after somebody has a bad, like all 4 had bad shots. Do you ever take your hat off and go, son of a...
No. I would just give them a thumbs up and giggle a little bit. Be like, it happens. It happens.
Oh, I bet.
Everybody,
Don't,
you know?
you get emotionally involved there. I mean, is there ever a time you like throw, oh, for gosh sakes,
Nope.
why did you do?
Nope.
Good for you, Ben.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
Because they see that.
Right.
And then they're going to go, oh, no, like this carried into your next shot.
Right.
And some things like that. And I'm a big believer in just go to your next shot, you know, see what you can do.
So now when you put your hat on for baseball,
Yeah.
You're not playing the next inning because you can't hit.
Yeah.
I mean, you're mad at it.
When I started, I was probably a hat thrower and an arguer. Now, I've learned that I truly don't believe kids make mistakes on purpose.
Right.
You know, it just happens. And if I see a kid that makes a mistake or he's not hitting well, that's my job to get him to be more confident and more successful. And sure, I throw my hat a little bit more. It's just at umpires, but not necessarily the kids.
Being that said, now you're a special ed teacher.
Yeah.
How does that correlate with your coaching? Do you think maybe that helps your coaching
It's a
a
ton,
little bit
yeah.
with your patience?
I deal with a lot of patience and a lot of different situations, and a lot of things are thrown at me that you're not necessarily accustomed to. And I tried to instill that in the girls too. Like if you hit one in the water, okay, well, can't do anything about it. Let's move on to the next one.
How did you end up going into that special ed end of education?
Well, my mom was a teacher. My sister's a teacher. And to be completely honest with you, I was going to be a professional baseball player until I found out I wasn't going to be a professional baseball player. But I wanted to stay in the game, and the best way to become a coach and stay in the game is to go into education. So that's the road that I took, and I had a family that's involved in it. So that's where I was, and I really, I went to college to play baseball, and I went to college to be a coach, and then I just found out that I should probably look at other things and besides those. So,
Yeah. But Mary Tyler Moore. Hey, how about but special ed? How did you get into that compared to like being a math teacher?
Well, it's kind of funny. Back when I was applying for jobs, there were not a lot of openings, and we had an opening at CHIP. I'm a history social studies major, and they had an opening and that they wanted to fill, and I was available and decided to go back to college while I was teaching and to get a degree. And once I got into special ed, I didn't want to get out of it. I love it. I love the kids. I love the way that the difficulties that you have and the fun success stories that you had. And so it's just something that I kind of fell into.
What school did you go to? Central?
I went to Elma College.
Oh, okay, and you played baseball there then?
Yep.
Pretty good team did that.
We won a league championship back in '99, so we were okay. Yeah.
Baseball is a lot more fun as you get older, isn't it?
It is.
The little kids don't like it so much.
Yeah, it's a lot of just 4 balls and go to first, and then you go to second.
Yeah.
A lot of round and round you go.
Yeah, I really watched that with my kids. And then Adam played 4 years at the Cardinal. And I really, of all the 3 sports that he played there, I kind of liked baseball the most. Mm-hmm. It was a very competitive league that they were in at that time. And,
yeah.
Baseball's fun. So you're enjoying that 20 years now, eh?
I've coached for 23 years, 18 at CHIP. I coached my first year when I got out of college. I was a coach, or I coached 2 years at Montebello, and then I got the job at CHIP.
I think parents are different today coaching their kids as they were 15 years ago.
Parents are great. I have no issue with parents.
Good for you.
I don't talk to them very much.
Yeah.
No, they're good. I mean, everybody's parent, or wants their kids to be successful, and you just have to have the right mindset. Not everybody's going to the big leagues. Not everybody's going to go to college. And if you take the perspective of it's okay to be a good high school athlete, it's okay to be a good high school baseball player.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the first round pick every year. Some people's expectations and visions are different than mine, and that's their opinion.
Who's the? It's unfair, and you're going to say I have no one that really stuck out. But in baseball, is there a player out there that you saw was like an overachiever that just I didn't think was going to be that great, and then all of a sudden, wow, he stepped up, and time he graduated, he was one of my best players?
Yeah, believe it or not, every single year I've coached, there's been a kid that I have zero expectation for, that I'm at the end of the year going, man, I'm so glad that you're with us because we need you. So I've had that a lot, and I think that's the fun part about coaching, is the idea that you don't expect something to happen, and just you watch a kid work and get better and have more confidence, and then at the end of the year, you're like, wow, you're one of our guys. Like, you're a dude. Like, you're pretty good.
Yeah.
So every year there's that, and you can go year by year. You can name a lot of different ones.
Yeah.
You know?
But when I think of Chippewa Hills, you guys have had, we'll just touch on it for a minute more, Dave Mercer, Sellers, I mean, Haywood.
Darren Gross.
Yeah.
We have,
Those
historically
guys really stood out, didn't they?
Historically, we've had a lot of really, really good baseball players. Way back from in the early '80s, Scotty Doyle was another one.
Yeah.
All the way through Billy Killian, Danny Killian,
Yeah.
and
My
that
Lord,
crew,
yeah.
and even up to the Tarbell brothers that I've got to coach. We've had a very strong history. You got to give a big shout out to Jim Novar because he had a big part with all of that.
Yeah.
And I've just been lucky enough to kind of look back at the history and figure out what they did and how they did it, and steer it in the right path. And I've actually become really good friends with Darren Gross. He was a sophomore on the '83 state championship team, And listening to his stories and how they did things back then with Coach Novar, I've kind of instilled a little bit of that in my program now. And so I like to believe that I've kept that history going for Chippewa Hills with that. There's been up and down years, but all in all, I think we've been pretty successful.
Yeah, you guys have been over there. When you say, Jason, you've been around long enough. Chippewa Hills has always been a strong baseball.
Well, the names he just put out there, I think everyone could recognize, right? We all recognize. You go to the Hall of Fame game in Big Rapids, those are all names that you mentioned or Ben had mentioned.
Yeah, I think Novar, he was a coach there for many, many years, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And I think he was just inducted into the Hall of Fame.
He was.
Last year, the year before, I think it was. Long overdue, that's for sure.
I think in the break, you asked me if I played baseball, and I said I didn't. Played a little league. My son enjoys baseball.
Yeah.
Did a lot of coaching of baseball, and that's one of those things. As a coach, you don't necessarily have to know the game, but understand kids and managing kids. I think Ben was talking about the, coaching his girls and just keeping them on focus, right? And again, am I going to be able to fix their swing in the middle of a round? No, right? But I try to correct them the right way. But baseball more than, and probably golf, but I don't play golf, right? Like it's a team sport, but wow, is there so much individualism, right?
Yeah, there's in baseball there's 9 individual games every pitch. You got to take that on. In golf, same thing. Right, Matty, you hit a bad shot, you got to get over it, and you can't worry about what your second and third golfers are doing. You got to focus on yourself and hit good shots. And it's a lot of it. It's just managing emotions.
You have kids?
I do not.
No kids?
No, I've had a lot of kids I've coached.
All right, good for you.
Yeah.
So you really involved with the kids then, aren't you?
Yeah, I try to be.
But a lot of them come back and thank you for something
Yeah,
special.
it is weird. You don't think about that, and you see them as adults, and they bring back memories that they had that you have no idea when it even happened. And you remember when you said this, Coach? You remember when you told me that? And I don't like to lie to them, but I probably just made it up on the fly when I was talking to these kids and trying to get things going. But it is good to see that, and I've had a number of athletes begin coaching, and they've talked to me, man, I remember when we played, it was great, and you did this, and I don't want to listen. I don't want to take any credit for anything. I'm not trying to sit here and brag about anything, but those kids, that's very special to me to be able to go and now coach against a former player who's a coach, or watch athletes. Like watching Madison play golf next year would be fantastic. Just those things are what's important.
Yeah, your folks, they don't push you. Your folks, they don't. They're not saying you got to play college ball.
No, they don't say I have to. They just want me to do what I want to do.
I suggest this to a lot of young people today because I've been there and I didn't do it. Don't have regrets. And if you have a God gift that He's gifted you got to understand that there's a lot of girls that love to fill your shoes, and they can't because it's God gift. You're talented. So I suggest you to do what you want to do, but don't have any regrets. By saying that, I mean, I would try it. I mean, I'll never forget back in the 90s, Big Rapids probably had the best chance to win the state title with their football team. I keep bringing this up over the last 40 years, or 24 or 5 years. But I really feel we would have. But I know these boys, now men, have regrets for not playing that final year. They didn't like the coach or whatever it was. They were just going to stand up, protest it, say, no, I'm not playing. And we had like 3 key players that didn't play that year. Had they played, I think they would have won. And I think they look back now. And I've asked the one, I know him pretty good. I said, do you have any regrets? He goes, yeah, I do.
For sure.
Yeah. So if you can do that, that's great, but you got to have it within you. You're the one that has to do it. Nobody, your parents can't do it for you. The coach can't do it for you. But all I ask you to do is pray to God and ask Him for wisdom in this decision making. I know you're awful young. What are you, 17?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, here's an old man talking to you, and I don't know if you're ever going to get anything out of this, but I'm telling you, I didn't have the gift to play football. Jason did. Mm-hmm. And Jason has no regrets now. Right, Jason?
No regrets. Nope.
No. And you're following your footsteps. It's a good football player. Wow. I know it's a sports program, so I got to bring this up, Jason. Tell us the perspective that came from you after Coopersville game.
We're going to change gears real quick here. Yep, it was a beautiful night. The sun was out. The crowd was good. A team that was coming in that was favored to beat us. They're a bigger school. You saw them line up, Pat. They were bigger at every position. Every position, they were bigger than us, except one little important spot, right? And that's in that center of your chest where heart matters, right?
Unbelievable, Jason. I think that probably is the pinnacle of all our football games ever, because we won it. Obviously, if we would have lost it, we wouldn't even be talking about it. But going into that game, it's like David and Goliath.
Yep.
Those guys are
I would say
huge.
probably regular season, Pat. I think we've had some pretty good playoff wins, including last year. I mean, a number one team that they beat, but I think it was very important for the boys, right? It was a confidence boosters, and they could go in any game now and know that they can compete.
I know. That's what I said, But if you look at those, it goes back to that plaque that you're on. Every play, every player, every play.
Yep.
Those guys are filling their positions. You look at that Brant James, you look at the Mosso kid, you look at the Bowmans, and you look at your boy, Wilbur. Every one of those guys know their positions better than, I think, as a team overall. Nobody slipped a tackle. They were grabbing the legs, hanging on for dear life, weren't they?
I think, coach, the coach, their big motto is, I think it's something, I don't want to paraphrase here because I'm going to get it wrong, but something is like, it takes no talent to hit, and the guy that hits the hardest is going to win, right? And I think that's very important in high school football.
I know, but they're big, Ben. Did you ever see Coopersville team?
No.
My God, they're like a Division III college, aren't they, Jason?
They had some big boys.
They did. I mean, they grow them down there in cornfields down there, big boys. But Big Rapids Cardinals, I'll tell you, my hat's off to it. The coaches right now, I want to congratulate them. I think they've done a phenomenal job. Ben, you can agree with this. It is a head game.
Oh,
it is
a lot. Yeah, you got to believe. If you don't have any belief, if you don't believe in yourself, you're never going to do anything.
Yeah,
that's not a sports analogy. That's in life. Yeah.
Now, Madison, like when you went to golf, it was a head game, wasn't it? I mean, you're not a very big girl. What are you, $110, $105?
You never asked that, Pat. You never ask a woman how much they weigh.
Hell,
It's Pat. He's a horseman. He's going to ask sports questions.
But you can hit the ball pretty good, eh, Ben? She hits the ball well.
Yeah, she'll drive you any day of the week for sure,
really?
Without a doubt. Yeah, she can strike the ball well, but she hits her long irons well. She putts well. There's not a shot that she's scared of, or I don't know how to do this. I know her and her dad and her sister have put hours, months of training in.
Wow.
And they get all the credit. Like, I was just there to facilitate and get her there.
Right.
Like, all of her talent and work came way before me. Coach Stark did a good job with them before me. And but all in all, she can do a lot of things on the golf course, and she's only going to get better with more experience and maturity and that sort of thing, which is exciting.
Now, when you go to putt, you're a pretty good putter, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. What goes through your head when you see that ball in that hole 10 feet away? Is it harder to concentrate on a putt when it's a 15-foot putt or a 3-foot putt?
That's a tough answer because sometimes it's the 3-foot putt.
Right. Yeah, because the 15, it's a gamble, but you got the idea of it. But the 3-foot putt is, I got to make it.
Yes.
But that.
I will say, I think she thinks all of those putts are going in. I mean, that's the confidence that she carries. That she thinks that every putt's going to go in, and as you should,
Well, behind every good player, and like you said, Ben, you don't give yourself enough credit there. But your dad, he sounds like he's a terrific dad, a big influence on you and your mother too, I guess, eh?
Yeah.
So it is family. Isn't it wonderful to have a God-gifted family like that?
Yes.
Tell me about your dad. Was he an athlete?
He did play golf in high school, but not really.
No?
No, but he's a
where-
very good golfer now.
Is he? Yeah. Where did he go to school? Is he from Chippewa Hills area?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And your mother, is she a pretty good athlete?
No, my mom doesn't do any sports.
What made your dad get you into golfing?
I think he thinks that he wanted us to do what he wanted to do when he was younger.
Yeah.
And he just wanted us to succeed.
Yeah.
Being a father, do you think it was also that was his opportunity to connect with you, play with
Yes.
you, right?
Yes.
Like, so my son was always easy. He wanted a rough, he wanted a fight. Then I had my girls, right? And they're not so rough and tough, right? So you got to find a way to connect, right? And was that maybe that way to connect?
Yeah.
I do have a follow-up question, and then I've been wanting to ask this, right? So you, 4 year or your 3 years, you played with your sister,
Yes.
right? And you said when you came in, she was the best player. So were you guys always competitive?
Always. Always.
Are you guys still competitive?
Yes.
So would it be just golf, though? Would we?
Yeah, most of the time it's just golf, but we don't really, I don't know. We're very competitive.
So if you like took a jog around the block, would we have that
Yeah.
competition? Who's going to win?
Yeah. Yeah, most of the time I'd say I was a little bit more competitive than her, but
Okay.
I will say this: Riley was down at the state meet watched both rounds of Madison's, and was a huge supporter of her this weekend. It was really cool to see because I know for a fact there was a lot of a competition in there, and there was zero jealousy of anything on either of them for that, that's a testament to them and their family and the strength there. And I think Riley was the first one that told Madison, well, at least you medaled in the state meet. I didn't do that.
Wow.
And it wasn't you medaled. It was like happiness, which is really cool to be a part of. Because these two girls, they battled in the league. You won the league as a sophomore.
freshman.
As a freshman, she was the overall league champion. And then her sister was for a couple of years. And then she was again this year. So, like, there was some competition there, a big sister, little sister stuff, and which is really cool because they handled it the right way. At least around us, around me. Maybe at home it was a little bit different story, but around me it was great.
But that's a reflection on your parents.
Yep,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, more people should emulate your folks. They ought to put a fast course on parenting. A lot of people need that. I mean, it sounds like your dad and mom didn't push you, but helped you
Yes.
achieve what you wanted to achieve and your gift that you have. I sure hope you go to college on it. That's great.
So I want to just say for for this program, we did book you guys before we were the ninth rated or won the medal as the ninth.
Yep.
So I mean, you guys did this before that. It's not like a follow up where we said let's have her on. So I think that's a little high five for this program. Wanted to bring her on here.
Right on.
But leading up to that, I look at my phone on Friday night, right, and I see Madison Allen is we're third, right?
Yeah.
Third after day one, because that's when we shot the 76. You said.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Now both of you, what was that Friday night like? I mean, you're in the hunt to be the number one overall, right? We're right there, right?
Yeah.
What was your Friday night? Because I couldn't imagine what I would have been feeling.
My Friday night was don't screw this up for Madison. Let her have fun and let her enjoy it. I'm sure she had some nerves. I'll let her answer herself. But I know for a fact with me, I was super excited. I got a lot of text messages from staff and community members and those sorts of things. And throughout that whole day, Maddie and I played, or Maddie played. I was just there, but I was walking with her. And I never looked at the scoreboard, never looked at anything. And then finally, a dad from another girl that we were playing with came up and said to me, "Hey, your girl's playing pretty good." I go, "Yeah, she's doing real well." He goes, "No, she's in the lead." Oh, she was in the lead going in the last two holes, and then I didn't know that, and of course I didn't tell Madison that at all, and I didn't want to tell her it ever because then it's like, oh, I'm in the lead now, I'm going to have some extra things, but that was really cool. So that night I was super excited. We had a great day early on in the range, and then you played good. She played good the next day, and then just came into it. So what was your Friday night like? I was rambling there a little bit.
I was very nervous. I never saw that coming. I also wasn't checking the leaderboard. I didn't know where I was at. I was like, and then when I was done, I seen it, and all my family was like, "Wow, you did so good." And I looked at the leaderboard. Finally, I'm like, "Whoa, what am I doing up here?"
Well, you deserve to be there.
Yeah, up to that point, Madison and I did a lot of reflection before we went there on what success looked like for you in this tournament. Is winning the state title, is being the best, is that the ultimate success, or being in the top 10 or the top 5? And Madison, I don't think really looked at that as like, I don't know. So I really challenged her to kind of look at what success looked like, and she fulfilled it beyond my wildest dream and probably beyond hers. I mean, obviously everybody would love to have won it, but to be ninth in the state in your senior year is tremendous. So, I mean, she did all the things she needed to do mentally to prepare and physically to prepare. And I thought she did really well.
So when we show up Saturday, so does that mean you golf with, or your pairings stay the same, or do you stay with that top 4 or whatever, 5 or 6 or whatever it is?
Yeah, it's the top individuals because I was an individual, so it's the top few individuals. So I was with the next girl, the 2 girls that were in front of me.
Okay. Were they girls that you played with before?
I played with one of them once before, and she's a very, very good golfer.
Where did you play with her at then?
Ludington at Lincoln Hills.
And so what did we compete with her both times, we feel?
Yes. I'm going to say, yeah. Madison was shot for shot with her at Ludington, and then asked for my advice up there. I gave her the wrong advice, and it didn't go well, and then she kind of lost a little confidence. But she still shot like 83, so she shot really well. And she can play with this young lady from Grand Rapids Christian that actually was the individual state champ. She can play with her.
Sure.
Yeah, obviously.
Still,
Well, she obviously
Right.
did. I mean,
Yeah.
you going in day 1.
Yep.
In the top 3, you were the leaderboard up to the last 2, so for sure you're there.
Can you can answer that? Was it nerve wracking for you, Madison?
Yeah, it was pretty nerve-wracking.
But I think that's the importance of sports, right? And you even talked about, what did you take from this? You said integrity. You talked about the sports are life experiences, right? And so now the rest of your life, you could take that, right? You have highs and you have lows, and where do you got to figure it out, right? Life is kind of in that in between. You know, it's not the peak of the roller coaster or the bottom of the roller coaster, right? Find that middle and let it ride.
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to tell us what you've learned from Ben Wright in the last 4 years?
Just the last year, Lenny Stark was her coach the first 3 years.
Oh, was he?
He just retired, and I decided to take it over, so I can only take credit for what she
Okay.
helped her and helped
All
her
right.
this year.
Well,
Yeah, this year was just one of the most fun years of golf that I've ever had, and he taught me so much about the mental game, and really helped smart me up a little bit, and the mental mindset of strategic golf and really playing up there and just.
you know, time flies by. We're going to close this real quick, but time flies by 10, 20 years down the road. When you catch back up with Coach Wright, what do you think you're going to say to him?
Thank you.
Yeah, simply thank you. That's a good one, yeah.
I'm going to ask for her autograph because you're probably doing something awesome.
Right. Yeah, I didn't interview in that, but yeah, what would you say to her? Wow, you know, remember those days, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, Madison has all the skill set, and she just needed to mold her mind and do that, and she did a really good job, and she's got a bright future.
Yeah, well, I'm happy for both of you. You know, it's always a pleasure to have good people in here, and so far, Brian Miller is every week has really made me look pretty good on the radio with positive people and winners like you guys, you know. And Madison, I know down the road, whatever you do, you're going to be very successful, and you're going to come back and say, I am successful for who I am because who I was led to be. And I think your dad should be commended for that. We should probably brought him in here and asked him, how do you be a good dad like you are? Because,
He would have loved that. He's a big fan of Bob's across the
is he?
aisle here, so he would have really liked that, right, Madison?
Well, maybe we'll have him back on. Maybe we'll have you and him and Coach Wright on another time. But
We'll take a quick last break and then wrap it up. Come back to wrap it up.
Let's do it.
All right, B1039. Come say cheers at Zott's Bar and Grill in Big Rapids. Great food, great prices, and great people, where everybody knows your name. Zott's, people's choice for best soup. You don't want to miss their award-winning burgers and chili as well. Originally opened in 1933 and serving it up ever since. Seasonal beers on tap. Located at 732 North State Street in Big Rapids. Roxanne and Doug at Zott's Bar and Grill are proud sponsors of the Signature Player of the Week for the Curries Hot Stove League every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m.
Hey, this is Andrew from Big Rapids Tire. Putting off winter, good idea for some, but in reality, pretty much impossible. And if you wait too long to get snow tires, you'll be saying,
Should have done it sooner. Dang it.
or something slightly more harsh. Last thing you want is to be slipping and sliding, or even worse, delayed, because you can't get out of your driveway. Get fresh new snow tires from Big Rapids Tires. There's no better feeling than to confidently take on the roads in the rough weather with good, solid snow tires on your car. Confidence and peace of mind. Priceless. Big Rapids Tire. There for you, whatever the weather. Fast and friendly service on Northland Drive, just north of Big Rapids. Call 796-4839. That's 796-4839.
All right.
Big Rapids Tire.
Yeah, very good. Thank you very much. It's
All right.
yeah, wrapping things up here on Curry's
I'm
Hustle.
going to let
What a great
Jason
hour.
wrap it up. Jason's an All-American football player from Ferris State. I'm going to let him wrap it up.
Well, I think All-American
Well,
would
I
be-
call you All-American because
Okay,
you
thank
stayed
you.
here.
I mean, I
But
do
99
love America, so
I
that's
know you
important. And I was academic All-American, so let's circle back to that, right? I was a high school failure in school, right?
Wow.
And but when we got to college and we focused, like I said,
Wow.
got away from those people. It was an important piece for me. I hope to see Madison do that herself, right? Not that I think your grades are pretty good, though, right?
Yes.
How are you academically?
I have a 3.9 GPA.
Whoa. Okay, so very well. Which Pat, if we got a quick second, I'd like to go in like golf. The first when I started working in the schools, I was amazed. So you guys play 18 holes. So what time do you normally leave the day for school, or leave school to go golf?
Like 7 in the morning.
Yes, right. And I remember looking at that and saying, how can these kids stay eligible? How do they keep their grades up? Like it has to be difficult.
Yes, it is.
How many times a week on average? Once or twice?
2 times a week we usually played.
Yep. Yeah. So I always looked at that, and just me knowing how I struggled in school, like how you guys have to be ultra focused, right? So not only on the golf, but on your academics, right? Because that's a lot of makeup work.
Yes, it is.
A lot of time on the road, a lot of time in advance, a lot of help with other classes with the girls, and they do a good job. I mean, they really do a good job of policing themselves and making sure that they're keeping up with that stuff.
So a great career, Madison. Everyone around here is proud of you. Again, like I said, when I tuned in Friday night and saw that we're 3, and then again we finished 9. What a great accomplishment. Chip Hills, you said first time a top 10 finisher, right?
Yeah, top 10, first one to place in school history as an individual.
Oh, wow. I was afraid to ask that.
Yeah,
Geez, that is quite an accomplishment.
great. Yeah.
So, did Lenny call you up and say, I should have stayed another year?
Yeah, Lenny said, this wasn't you. This was all me. No, he's been great. Lenny has been great.
Yeah.
I coached boys golf way back when, probably 15 years ago.
Right.
Before they switched it, and then Lenny took it
Right.
over, took the girls over, and him and I talked last spring before he retired. So he gets a lot of credit. Like, listen,
Yeah.
the boat was sailing. I just jumped in the driver's seat, and the girls did all the work. And
Well, he dedicated his whole life to sports.
Yeah.
Didn't he? Basketball and Everett, basketball at Chip.
Yeah.
And golf, I didn't know, but
Yeah.
what else did he coach?
he coached girls track for a couple of years, and he coached boys and girls golf probably the last 5 or 6, 7, 8 years. I don't remember. A long time. So he's done a lot of coaching.
Yeah. Well, when you get my age, you see a lot of these guys go through coaching, all of a sudden they're retired, and you're not, and you're going, whoa, I got to get out of this business here. But it's been great. It's been a great morning. I think it's been very, very exciting to listen to your career here at Chippewa Hills, and it is in Mecosta County, so you're one of us. Big Rapids gets beat by a team in Mecosta County, that means the other team's just as good as we are. Chippewa Hills got a good team. I count Reed City in there too. We're very proud of our area
that's great.
athletes, and you're one of them. But that being said, Jason, you want to announce the Player of the Week, SOTS Player of the Week?
So the player of the week this week, I think, is hands down is going to be Madison Allen, right? We finished in the top 10, number 9 in the state. Great accomplishment. She's going to be our player of the week.
And you know who you beat out? The Big Rapids Cardinals. I mean, now those guys accomplished a big feat there Friday night, and Reed City did too, and Everett too. They won too, didn't they, Bob?
Everett won, 49-26 over Houghton.
Yeah. So anyway, well, congratulations, and we'll talk to you soon after you get out of college. We'll have you and Ben back and talk about how you won the nationals and
Absolutely.
all those big.
Thank you very much for the opportunity for us. It was great.
Oh, it's been fun. You're beautiful people.
Yeah, I want to thank our sponsors, Big Rapids Tire, of course, and
Andrew Brock, yes, sir. Good man down there. Like I said, he's got Nick down there. Nick. Great on tractor tires.
Nick
and
from Everett, you
industrial.
said.
Yeah, Nick from Everett. Great guy the other day. Hey, before we leave, folks, no good old athlete back in the day. He gave it his all, and I think he played quarterback for the Cardinals back in the 70s. Don Britton, he's fought a lot of health issues for the last 30 years probably, and Mindy, his wife, has just stood by him, and I mean, I can't say enough about her. Just a great lady. And Christy, his daughter, teaches at the high school out here, doing a great job out there. But, as we sit here in the studio, and we're healthy and we feel pretty good, we never know what tomorrow might bring. So live today the best you can, because Don's sitting down there in Grand Rapids, or I should say laying down in Grand Rapids. They took him down last night. He's got some serious problems. So keep the Britton family in your prayers. God bless you, Don. We're just all lucky to be here today, and I hope we all appreciate God's blessings.
And Don will always give you that smile, right?
Yeah, that's right. We've had a lot of fun today, and you've gave me some more smiles to take with me when I leave here. But I just love people, and I love you guys, and it's been a pleasure meeting you today and discussing what life's all about, and that is not just winning, but doing the best you can do.
There you go. Appreciate it.
God bless you, Bobby.
So thanks again to Zots, and Madison wins a burger of her choice at Zots.
There you go.
Being
Yeah.
the signature player of the
They're
week.
open today too.
Yeah,
so,
they are.
Yeah. We'll just call her down there and tell her Madison's coming down once one of those Big Macs.
Sounds like
Or Big Doug's. We'll call them Big Doug's.
Yeah, there you go.
God bless America.
Minute before 10 on B1039.
All right.